China Inc. versus America Inc. Who will run the world? In recent times, most notably with Donald Trump pulling out of talks in the Middle East, the dwindling influence of America in the Asian region, many are starting to think that the powers of the significant Western entity seem to be dwindling. Despite its widespread actions in many countries of the world, the military bases it has, which are spread all over, and its participation in the World Health Organization, WHO, the United Nations, and other relevant global associations of nations, many think that the influence of the United States of America seems to be dwindling. After the fall of the Soviet Union in the year 1991, the United States has been considered as the only superpower the world has. Most notably, with its investments in tech, national budget running in trillions of dollars, likewise, investment in the military, and high-grade weapons of mass destruction, America has managed to retain its influence in global politics. However, with the start of the 21st century, the rise of China in global discourses has become one of the biggest stories of the times. China has left its developing status behind and is fast catching up to America as the newest superpower. It is said that under America's new foreign policy, which is fast eroding US-China relations, the Asian giant is touted to pass the global giant in a few decades to come. A belief held by many, of which the line of thought resonates well with the United States, being seen as the world's superpower, is continuously being eroded in a world that is increasingly becoming multi-power, as it is believed that the giant of the Western Hemisphere no longer stands tall as to meet all the prerequisites of being a superpower. However, in line with the context of this compilation, we will be highlighting the affairs of both China Inc. and America Inc. to conclude who will rule the world. With a massive investment in Africa, the award of loans to the presidents of struggling countries in the region, with certain conditions and concessions coming with this loan, is one of the ways China is moving to cement its rising status in the comity of nations. Its massive infrastructural developments, economic stimulus payments, and unprecedented development in the areas of telecommunications and information technology at large allows for China to be on the hot heels of the United States in becoming the new world superpower. Let us get into the main points of discussion, shall we? What is meant by a country being a superpower? The global power play, or the dynamics of the global issue, is one that is difficult to predict. Experts have talked about how uncertain it seems to be, and that no one can correctly predict the country to emerge as the newest superpower amidst a dwindling United States foreign influence. In defining what a superpower is, there is no textbook definition to describe what is meant by this term. However, a superpower is said to mean a country or a landlocked entity that can exert itself as a powerful voice, a domineering power anywhere in the world. There are many measurements by which this is done, but this undoubtedly includes both economic and military strength, as well as top-notch cultural and diplomatic ideologies. In line with the World Economic Forum, the United States is the only global military power under its far-reaching influence on conflicts so far from home. The United States military is one with the impressive ability to deploy, plan, fight, and sustain on a right scale the many counter-terrorism campaigns it has taken upon itself. If we were to judge by military might alone, the United States is the only global superpower we have. If these were to be the case, the authorities in the United States would be so much at rest. However, according to Dr. Gordon Adams, international relations, foreign affairs, and U.S. policy experts, there are many other spheres from which being an all-round superpower is considered, and China is fast gaining ground in these other areas. As far back as the 40s, the United States was the only nation that set agendas and was in charge of meetings whose attendance was made essential. As mentioned earlier, it created organizations such as the United Nations, to NATO, which is widely known for interventions in Africa, ousting dictators, and also in the Middle East. Is the US losing its superpower status? Although the giant of the West was not the only superpower, post the Soviet Union, the United States of America has been the only globally recognized influence when it comes to the big nations of the world. In terms of military spending, the United States is by a large gap the world's superpower, judging by only its defense expenditure of $620 billion compared to China's $250 billion. China's progressive rise and development are impressive, all from a developing country to becoming one to reckon with. There is plenty to say about this Asian giant. The country is gradually becoming one of the most significant contributors to the economics of the world. Its growing push in diplomacy and advances in technology, as mentioned earlier, coupled with artificial intelligence, is an indisputable one. This has increasingly called into question the claim of America being a world superpower. The powers of the United States of America might be in decline. As experts in international relations have mentioned, the state is still the closest to what can be termed a superpower. Although, as we mentioned earlier, it has to consolidate its power, both politically and economically. Military power is not all there is. There is a gradual rebalancing of who calls the shots in some regions of the world. Globalization is threatening to change the face of the New World Order, as it has dispersed economic power around the globe. Recently, China claimed it is no longer buying U.S. bonds, and it has also sold all the U.S. bonds in its care. The Chinese economy is fast becoming a significant rival America should be concerned about. Is China hot on the heels of the U.S.? Just like the proverbial phoenix, the rise of China from a position of weakness and humiliation pre the development of the Asian region as a whole. It is not surprising to note that many Chinese may be thinking it is now their turn to rule the world. Australia, Britain, and the Philippines are amongst the countries that are fast embracing the possibility of the changing world order. Some time back, the foremost British scholar and journalist opined in his book that China's outstanding economic turnaround would sure provide an excellent platform for military, political, and cultural influence that is sure to rival that of the US, and in that manner provide an alternative path to modernity and a different world order as we have it. When it comes to debating China's supremacy, it is not difficult to understand why many are quick to agree that China is really on its way to become the next world superpower. When it comes to the Asian giant, one is quick to think its large population is responsible for the accelerated development, as its human capital is endless. But everything related to China is big. Talk about its reach, geography, buildings, and very lofty ambition. This uncommon combination is one major factor responsible for China's success. This is a framework that seeks to harmonize the country's hard and soft power assets in such a way that no other state can match. China's story is one of the most impressive in recent times, and they show no signs of stopping anytime soon. The country has its personnel leading in niches from geopolitical to economic, technological, and educational. The thirst for knowledge is also second to none, as Chinese students dominate top universities in every developed state. There is an intentional plan to empower its citizens to be educated from every top university in the world. This way, they get to settle down and work together, pulling off the greatest legal intellectual property heist of all time. The sectors in which the citizens are sent to learn more about include the fields of healthcare, information and communications technology, pharmaceuticals, robotics, latest agricultural developments, military technologies, natural resources, manufacturing techniques, renewable energy technologies, etc. And these strategic milestones are paying off in leaps and bounds. It is no news that China recently secured the rights to the most powerful computer in the world. It also recently launched the first quantum satellite, all to leap ahead in the unspoken competition to develop attack-free encryption technology. Arms exports have increased by nothing less than 143% since the past 5 years, and China is touted to become the leading voice and entity in unmanned military aircraft by the year 2023. There are many risks the country has to face in its quest to becoming a world superpower. One of these is to protect its citizens in far-flung areas of the world. China has up to 5 million citizens working internationally, with about 2 million in Africa alone. Judging by the volatility of the area, the tendency of regional conflicts to erupt any time, the citizens have to be protected from kidnappings, terrorisms, and so on. One other factor to be considered is the main issue of imperial overstretch, one singular factor that has brought an end to many empires of the world. The country is aware that it is vulnerable to external attacks or issues from its Asian neighbors. The threat posed by its nuclear-armed neighbor North Korea, a pro-independence Taiwan, and even Hong Kong. They're also aware of how much a Donald Trump-led America is a threat to its fledgling expansion. In the light of these, China is slowly working its way up, faster than imagined. It might take decades for America's decline to be in the full glare at this rate. After assessing the fortunes and possibilities for both countries in this discourse, one can conclude with this recommendation by experts, that it may take decades for the much-touted American decline to start, allowing for other countries to elevate their heads to catch up. Experts and international relations analysts have noted that America still accounts for up to 25% of global wealth, about 40% of global military spending, and 35% of the world's innovation. With these stated figures, the United States of America still holds a massive lead over other countries. It is more likely to take nothing less than a decade for other countries to catch up, and this is in a situation where America has things going for it so badly. It is no news that America has the best factors or fundamentals for growth, so things are improbable to go wrong for the giant Western state. It has the most secure and most prosperous land on the planet, coupled with a vibrant population and a fully consolidating political system. Although it can be said to be far from perfect, The country is also better at maximizing the potentials of its citizenry, spurring innovation and an entrepreneurial spirit. Although nothing is guaranteed in global politics, it can be said with conviction that America has a very massive lead and advantage over other competitors. It has also been said that the erosion of America's global power has been accelerated under Trump's presidency. There is a reshuffling of the deck on the international stage, as many other nations are beginning to improve in their roles in global issues discourses. Finally, in terms of who will rule the world between China Inc. and America Inc., America still holds the advantage when it comes to comparing these two superpowers. In terms of all the available statistics for determining if a country is a superpower, between both China and America, the Western giant is still in the lead. And when it comes to leading the world, America will still be given the baton, although China is in hot pursuits. Well, that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you think of this kind of content, and whether you'd like to see more of it. With that said, like the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.